Hello everybody and welcome once again to Casual Gamer Oz. We are on our F1 2016 Career Mode Season 2. Moving along nicely as we get into Silverstone for round 10 of the championship. Sauber driver Ben Waterworth, hosted by yourself. Myself, Ben Waterworth. You can host it if you want to, but I don't know how that would generally work. Before we get into qualifying here at Silverstone, recap of our last race in Austria, of course. Qualified in 13th, was fairly satisfied with that one, and wasn't satisfied with the fact that I managed to have my 6th DNF in a row. Decent start I got, and then basically had to make my way through in a wet race, and yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say too much, except that it was a bit of a shitter of a Grand Prix, and a silly mistake cost me it, and yeah, don't really want to add too much to that. So we head to Britain here, a Grand Prix last year where I qualified 22nd. I finished 22nd, at least I finished the race, so we're wanting to break the duck of finishes and actually finally get a Grand Prix finish for the first time since way back, of course, in China. So let's go to the track, and a dry qualifying. I'm very excited that I can utter those words, a dry qualifying. Alright, now, I'm just laughing at the fact that this season has just gone to absolute shit. I hope you're enjoying watching these videos, wherever you are watching them. You could probably search for actual proper gamers out there, but sadly you've stumbled across this. I actually want to send out a special shout out to long-term listener of all of our numerous podcasts and everything else that we've ever produced with the word Oz in it, essentially. Catherine, thank you for tuning in. I swear I'm going to create something one day that you don't watch. Maybe when I do Donald Trump Oz or something like that, I don't know. Please know that that's not actually going to be a thing, but you seriously end up watching everything that we produce. We appreciate your support, Catherine. I'll have to have another beer with you next time I'm in Melbourne. Anyway, currently in P9 here at the moment. It was a wet qualifying last year, which is hence why I was dead last. But we've got a dry qualifying. It's Britain though, so we're probably going to have a wet race tomorrow. It's always raining at some point in Silverstone. And just not really doing too well here. So we head up into Stowe, and we whack the DRS on. Still 17th at the moment, so it's not last. That's a positive to at least come from it. Although when you run a corner such as that, you're going to cost yourself some time. Coming into the final section now here, just get a bit of curb. Oh, lose the back of the car. Can we hang on to 17th, or are we going to drop down a little bit more? We got 17th. I'll take it. Jeff is happy with it. So again, as always, if we impress Jeff, that's the main thing. So 17th. Okay. We'll move ahead now into the race and see what we can do with that. And of course, we're going to do that right now. Okay. Please be dry. Please be dry. Still getting resource points, of course, funnily enough, even though we haven't finished a long time. And I didn't get a warning. I still haven't got a warning yet from Claire. Stuffer. Is it Claire? That's her name, isn't it? Sarah? Emma? What's her name? Did I just call her Claire? Her name's Emma, isn't it? Oh, God, I can't even remember her name. She's annoying. We don't like her. And I lost my rivalry to Sergio. No surprise there. What is her name? Oh, look at that. It's raining. What a surprise. Anyway. I can't remember. I've had such a bad season, I'm going cuckoo gaga. Can we research our last bit of our car there? Oh, we can. We're on 1,077 resource points, and the last bit there to fix up our rear wing end plates. Let's select that upgrade. So an update to the rear wing end plates result in reduction in the amount of turbulence caused by the rear wing and improving drag. That will be okay for our next few Grand Prix. Let's choose that. We're going to the high-speed races, of course. Look how far behind we are all the other teams there in the development. And somehow we manage to get poles every now and then. So, yeah, anyway. All right, let's... wet race. 7 DNFs are coming up in a row. As I said, 22nd last year. Didn't DNF it. I did finish dead last from memory last year. I had a battle with the Toro Rosso, I think, from memory. Oh, crap, look at that. Alright, so let's take a look at the grid. We're going to have Mercedes lockout. I think Hamilton got pole, didn't he, in his home race? Yes, he did. Rosberg in second. Ferraris, Raikkonen and Vettel 3rd and 4th. Good for them. Ricciardo 5th, Alonso in 6th, Button 7th in his home Grand Prix, Verstappen in 8th, Bottas 9th, Perez in 10th. Still out qualifying Hulkenberg. When's the last time he out qualified Perez? I can't remember. Massa 12th, Grosjean 13th, Magnussen 14th. Palmer, what are you doing up there in 15th? You should be in 21st. Gutierrez 16th, there I am in 17th. Sainz 18th, Verline 19th, Haryanto 20th, Kvyat 21st, and Nazar in the favouriteest position that he likes it. That's how I believe he conceives children, and I don't actually know if he's a father or not. Anyway, let's get into this soggy Silverstone. Are we at least on full wets? We are. They want me to finish in the top 19. Alright, keep it on the island, Ben, and let's do this. Okay, are you ready for this, folks? Where am I going to go wrong this time around? Oh god, we know when there's a manor involved, that usually spells trouble. Season 1 was all about the Williams. This season it's all about the Manners taking me out. Somehow I've made my way up into 10th position, folks. I'll take that. Alright. Decent start. And we'll trail around the back here of little old Maxi, who I think was starting in, was he 7th or 8th? Okay, yellow flag, cannot overtake. Now the incident's behind me though. Let's take this time to put the fuel mode into rich. And wondering what's happening there. No cars have retired, at least by the looks of things. So something's happened behind. And just quick little glance on the map there without getting too distracted. Sees that there's a bit of a hold up going on towards the rear of the field. So we've avoided it. That's the main thing. Oh, and I get a big slide coming into the old start-finish straight. Still once again, the Sauber showing a bit of pace when it comes to full wet weather track. We've had a very rainy season this year. You know, I like the dynamic weather conditions because obviously it can throw up a surprise, but I don't usually see a season this wet. I mean, I think pretty much with the exception, I think maybe of Bahrain, we've had at least a wet qualifying or wet race in every single Grand Prix, have we not? Interesting. Interesting. Alright. Let's focus once again on the racetrack ahead, Ben. So we haven't even completed a lap. And you're still hanging on here to the back of this crew, and you are in a points position at the moment. And remember, guess what? The most important thing is, if this race finished right now, you would get 10th because you haven't got a penalty yet. Yay! So there's no need for, you know, maintaining a gap or anything. If we finished right now, we'd be satisfied with the point. Hashtag satisfied. Now, we'd like Verstappen and Bottas have a bit of a mingling here within front. We'll never make it a little bit of an easy path for me to get to both of them. But thing is, if I somehow find a way past these two, then we've got a nice string of cars in front of them. And who knows how much damage we could make. Obviously, as long as it's not to the car, that would be the nice thing. Because we've gone a lap and a half, people, without damaging my front wing as well. Remember what happened in Austria, though. Remember that. It's only last race. I managed to basically look like I was finally going to break the string of DNFs, and what did I do? I basically crashed on the final lap. So, plenty of time to fuck this up, folks. Around this little battle, and we'll see what we can do here. Just being a little bit cautious I am, and you can see the car sliding around plenty. Just avoiding the curves as best as I can, because that's obviously where the standing water is, and it will cause me to spin out. 2 purple sectors here, so I am the fastest in both the first and second sectors of the circuit. So once again, the Sauber with a bit of pace in a full wet race, and we prefer the full wets over the inters. Can we stick one up the inside here? Oh, I think we can. Oh, I've got it. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I'll take it, and we move up into 9th position. Okay, now Max is going to attack me. I'm just going to not try to drive into the path of little Maxi Verstappen, because we know what he's capable of in real life, especially in wet weather races. I'm just wondering for F1 2017 if they kind of put a lot of the attributes of real-life drivers, because I know they did that in one of the earlier F1 games, Codemasters, and I don't know if they really kind of put that across a lot more into some of these other games. If they do, it's not something they really talk about too much. Verstappen's getting very racy on me. I'm just going to stick here and cover the inside, allow him to go around the outside, which he's doing, and I'm just scared here that he's going to drive into me if I turn into the inside. No, okay. Good driving there by Max Verstappen. I appreciate it, Max. You're not in a Manor or a Williams, but I've got a Williams in front of me here, so who knows what's going to happen here if I turn off Valtteri. Although you got to remember, it's not Felipe Massa. That's generally, I think I've only had one incident with Valtteri last season from memory. That was in China. I can't really remember if it was more than one. Oh, I don't like following closely into this section in the wet. It's a nerve-wracking experience. And again, I'm just going to say, and I'm probably going to jinx myself by saying this, there's a lot more grip in a full wet race than there is in a race with inters. So, if there's going to have a wet race, we want it to be full wet rather than just an inter-wet. Okay. Now we know my favourite overtaking spot is coming up here. Just avoid the curve there, man. Get a bit of slide. Oh, that's not how I like it. Let's see. I'm going to risk this. Straight up the inside there of Valtteri. That's my overtaking spot. Now we allow Max and Valtteri to just battle it out slightly behind me. We cross the line. Okay. Oh, this is nerve-wracking. It's kind of like Mexico last season. I was just nervous to hold on in a wet race. I was a lot more confident in Mexico than I am here in Silverstone. I much prefer that circuit. Not to take away from Silverstone. I'll stop taking away from Silverstone. It's an overrated circuit there. I've said it. I think I said that last season anyway. So, sorry, British F1 fans. We're in position 8. This would be a good way to break the finishing dark by actually getting points, and I wasn't expecting to get points once I saw it rating. We're just going to maintain the inside here and make them go around the outside if they want to attack me, but they hold off slightly there. I'm glad that they're driving very well. I appreciate that, Valtteri and Max. Thank you very much. You know I'm a little bit nervous with cars behind me, trying to keep this on the island. Oh, don't slide out of it. If I crash out of this race, I swear to God, if I see a person in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to punch them in the head. It's that type of moment right now. It looks like I'm pulling away, though, from Valtteri. Valtteri seems to be holding up Max, which is good. Thank you, Valtteri. You seem to be on Team Ben Waterworth today, so... Oh, shit. Shit. Casual Gamer Oz, the only channel on YouTube where we just are expecting to crash. And just, let's be honest, everyone at home right now watching this, you're expecting me to crash or fuck this up at some point too. If you've been watching these religiously, then you know what's been happening in Season 2. Oh, gee, I don't like leaving the brake late in the wet, because that's generally how I stuff this up and slide. Alright, final lap. It's gonna be Austria all over again. Oh, fastest lap! Waterworth with the fastest lap! That's got to be my first ever fastest lap if nobody takes it away from me. There you go. I've nearly got the whole set. I've got a pole position. Got the fastest lap. Just got to get that win now. So, alright. At least one positive to come from if I bin it at some point on this lap. I've managed to secure the fastest lap. Sadly, there's no reward for a fastest lap. No points, no anything. It's just the honour of having it. Okay, surely I've done enough to keep them behind me. I'm not going to catch Alonso in front of me here, I feel. I said another purple first sector. Fuck this being the last lap. Let's keep going. I can win this Grand Prix. Add another 5 laps. Now, this is where you get overconfident, Ben, and you end up in the barrier. Isn't it? Yes. And especially when it slides into this section, it always slides in me. But then I always manage to get the grip back as I cross the old start-finish line into the old turn 1. The British crowd are probably cheering home their man Lewis Hamilton about to win. Meanwhile, this little Swiss team that could, Sauber, they're just hanging on here. Can I get my second points finish of the year and break this streak of DNFs? 8th position. I'll take it. Oh boy, will I take it. Let's hold on to this, Ben. You've only got the last section to go. You're not going to set another fastest lap, but who gives a flying fuck? I think I've already got the fastest lap in the books. Lewis Hamilton is going to cross that finish line any moment now to win the Grand Prix for Mercedes. But more importantly, Ben Waterworth is going to cross the finish line in 8th place for Sauber. The 4 World Championship points, and they will feel the best I've ever had. Lewis Hamilton wins. Stuff you, Lewis Hamilton. Who gives a shit? The real champion's about to cross the line. Ben Waterworth in 8th position. The streak is over. And Jeff is happy. A happy Jeff beats a happy Ben. Oh, that feels good. That feels very, very good. I am extremely happy with that. Oh, goodness. Kimmy's happy. He's smiling for once. What's to look at the replay? Nothing happened really this race, did it, in order to see a replay? We'll just have a quick little glance at the start at least. I got a very slow start there. Completely bogged down and allowed me to get overtaken by a Manor. But around the outside, if you don't mind. Around a Renault, the Haas's, Williams, Force Indias. Wow, just clipped poor little Nico Hulkenberg there by the looks of things. And I actually wouldn't mind seeing what happens in the back. So we know there was a yellow flag incident on the first lap. We'll just keep an eye on things here. We're more interested in seeing what happens behind. Oh, it's a Force India. There we go. Is that Perez? I think that's Perez. Well, that's what happens to you, Sergio. Meanwhile, here I am making my way through the field. So, there we go. Alright, we don't need to see any more of that. So, Hamilton from Rosberg. It's Mercedes 1-2. Raikkonen 3rd. Ricciardo moves up into 4th there. Vettel drops down to 5th. Button. Alonso. Yay! Waterworth. Bottas in 9th. And Verstappen in 10th. So, the championship, how does that look? Well, Hamilton leads by 27 points over Rosberg, Ricciardo, Alonso. Raikkonen moves up into 5th over his teammate Vettel. Button moves up to 7th over Max Verstappen in 8th. Perez in 9th. And Bottas did get some points, but I'm only 4 points off that top 10 place that I so do crave, and 25 more points. A win, basically, off topping my total from last season. In the constructors, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, Force India, Williams, Sauber, Haas, no change with any of the point scoring teams. Toro Rosso, Manor, Renault, still no points for them. We have only 5 points off Williams, so it's a battle between our Dementors from last season. That is the British Grand Prix. Very happy with that result. Thank you for tuning in. We're back for Hungary next round. We'll see how we go there. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and everything else in between. Here on Casual Gaming Oz, we'll speak to you next time.